Yes, yes, yes. I know he's doing it again. I know he just can't help himself, can he? The one-eyed bandit, the one-eyed Cantabrian bandit. Pretty cool, eh? So, just to show it's not trick photography. So today I want to show you something very good. I think it's good, but anyway, I hope you like it. And thank you for tuning in, as already previously mentioned, by way of Capture Card. And so here we go. Let's get into it. So here we go. Here is this rapid game that I played earlier on today. And I hope you enjoy this game. I will try to give you some exercises along the way, okay? So I hope to do that. Here we go. And Queen E7. Now comes this knight move wanting to look at this square here, C5. So I play B5. Now there's no entry squares for the knight to go to C5, but the only thing is that the rook can look at this square though. So the rook's got a half open file. The rooks and the horizontal vertical pieces have got a horizontal vertical file, have got a vertical file on the C file where black hasn't. Black has the F file and white has the C file. Excuse me. So moving on to move 21 is E3. Now this makes it bullet tight, really. Maybe I should play bishop G4, but I'm not quite sure about that. So I don't know what to do in that regard. So here we go. We'll just go forward a little bit into the game. And as you can see, we are a few steps ahead. And now we're at move 24 for white, which was Queen D2 and Knight H7. So this is the move that I particularly liked playing, because otherwise my knight here on F6 is not really doing anything. It's just looking at everything. All these here, here, here squares are unavailable. I don't, so the only thing is I can move it here and here and here. Could do that. That looks quite good. So it's not bad actually. But I moved my knight to H7. And here, this is going to enter, the knight is going to enter here and threaten this square here, H3. King F1. Now, what would be the move you would play here? Actually, I've got knight H3, have I? Have I got knight H3? Might have, but I don't think it. I think it's a wee bit tangy. That's all. But it's probably okay. It's probably fine. But I played here. Wait for it. Queen D6. Now, I've got an idea in mind, haven't I? You can see the idea. The idea is this F2 pawn is pinned. So I'm actually by these rooks here. So I'm actually looking at just taking Queen G3. Meanwhile, it may look to my opponent that I'm just wanting to protect my C6 pawn from rook and rook captures. So it's a wee feint, but it's not really. Because we can all see this, that Queen G3 is threatened here. But my opponent from Indonesia did not see it and played knight c3, so I played queen g3. Now comes knight d1. So what's the sort of move you're going to play here now? Do I want to run my queen away? Because it's now looking like she might get taken. Maybe there's some tactic that I have to look out for that she might get taken. No. I take this pawn on h3 now. Okay? I take this pawn on h3. So what would you take it with? The knight, okay, the knight or the bishop to take this h3 pawn. Not the queen, of course. Can just about play the queen. Can just about do the queen. Not really, though. So what would your choice be? I captured with the bishop, and now I threaten just queen g2 and queen g1 and bishop g4 check. It's getting quite hard for white, really, isn't it? So that said, here we go with bishop h3. Now I play what? Knight h3 or queen h3 check? Queen h3 is quite nice, but I played knight h3. Now I threaten queen g1 and rook f2, knight f2, rook f2, check. Hold on, and that's checkmate. So I threaten queen g1, check, queen g1, check, okay, queen g1, check, and rook f2, check, and rook f2, checkmate. Okay, so my opponent played f4. So it's your move now. So my opponent here played move f4. What's your next move? So this is an exercise for my actual own game. So after f4, what's your move? En passant, knight takes pawn, queen takes something, or something else. Pawn move. Remember that this is a weakness that's going to collapse very shortly if I don't watch it. So what do you think after f4? And why I do it this way is it's better for you to set before I show you the position. It's better for you, your insight and your prowess and all those sorts of things. I mean, maybe I'm going to play queen g1 check after f4. Okay, so what's your move? And here it comes. Here comes my next move. So here it comes, okay? Okay, so rook f4 was played. Now this looks a bit mad, doesn't it? Really? And so my opponents thought the same as you do, and I do still too as well. I think it's kind of madness. So after ef4, okay, we have rook f4 check, and now the queen sort of wants to take, really, doesn't she? So now the queen wants to sort of take, so what does she do? She takes. And here's queen f4. Now what do we do now, dear Watson? What do we do now? What do we do with the drunken sailor? So what do? We play a wee quiet move, actually. I play a move that ends up on 2 rooks down. As queen g1 check, and this forces the move king f1 to e2. I'm sure you'll understand or appreciate or believe that as well. So after this, I now capture the queen with check, and it forces the king to go to d2, and then I capture the pawn with check, and this forces the king to go to e1. Now, do I now go any further? Like, do I go Queen G1 check? No, I just played something that finishes the game off, or especially my opponent felt like resigning after that. And I haven't analysed it any further since I played this game earlier on. So my opponent is from Indonesia, and my opponent was left with 341 or thereabouts comparative to my 615. So here we go. The final move is knight d3 check, and that's the end of the session. And I hope you enjoyed this session, and thank you very, very much for tuning in, and I do appreciate it so much. And all the best with your chess, no matter where it's at, and no matter where you're at in the world. And thank you again for tuning in and watching this chess channel today. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.